It's almost impossible not to go viral on TikTok, but here's why most people don't. Obviously, that's a pretty outrageous claim, but let me just rephrase it like this for you. If you own a niche, talk about popular topics within that niche that your target audience actually care about, figure out what the audience wants to hear you talk about, because those are two very different things, figure out how the audience wants you to deliver the content, figure out what your hook should be at the start of the video so people actually stop and watch your video. If you do all of that and post a couple hundred videos, you will go viral. There's no question about it. But if it's that easy, why don't most people do it? It's because it's not that easy. A lot of people struggle to experiment with content, with their topics, their delivery methods, their hooks, their editing style, their energy on camera, so on and so forth, because that means not getting views for a whilst you figure everything out. So what's the key takeaway here? If you are serious about going viral on TikTok, getting millions of views, getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok, earning money on TikTok, then the two simplest facts are you have to spend the time to learn what people actually react to when you're making content, and you have to post hundreds of pieces of content to do that. You have to think long term. If you're just looking for short term wins, you're going to struggle to grow on TikTok. And look, you do not have to do this alone. There is a community of people doing this, starting from scratch with 250 views and little followers and making TikTok a real thing for themselves. Like Susan here, who started off exactly like that and has gained 50,000 followers since joining the community, all with a 6-week roadmap, all with direct support from one-on-one coaches. And you can do that too. We're only letting 100 people in on this new platform whilst we deliver more and more support. So just click the link in our bio to not miss out. One of the easiest ways to fix low views on TikTok is to make more specific content. I know that sounds like a contradiction, but let me explain. You know that you need to own a niche on TikTok, right? You can't post things from 100 different topics and expect the people who liked one video of yours to like another of yours. That's just not how you build an audience. So people know that they have to own a niche, but even within a niche, a video can be too broad to gain any traction. And that's because there are a lot of creators on here, and the most successful niches on here have the most creators on here because they're the most successful niches. So the way to break out the crowd and get out of the low view jail is to make your content more specific. Rather than making a beauty routine, which the audience who are interested in that content have seen a million different versions of, make a beauty routine for 20-year-olds or 25-year-olds or 30-year-olds, or a beauty routine for people with sensitive skin, or a beauty routine to do after a night out. You see how you can make it really, really specific, but can still get in front of a lot of relevant people who will watch that video for long enough so that video then gets pushed out further. And the trick to this is to make your videos specifically target the audience that you best represent. Because if you do that, you will bring in the most followers from those views as well. And this doesn't just apply to the beauty niche. It doesn't matter what niche you operate in, there will always be a way to make it more specific, but making it more specific will make it more relevant, which will make people stick around for longer, rather than just creating a blanket video which you think will capture everyone, but ends up capturing no one. Comment your niche, and I can get a video out replying, explaining how you can do this for your niche specifically. And look, we're on a mission to help everybody grow on TikTok. If you're willing to work hard enough, everybody can. And one of the biggest things holding people back is the ability to get your videos categorized with TikTok SEO. Well, we've got a free webinar happening on that where we tell you everything you need to know about that within the next week. All you've got to do to get in is click the link in our bio to join the free community where you have access to the webinar and so much more. So make sure you click the link in our bio so you can start growing on TikTok.
Adjustments that have exponential growth. These are people that are doing $1 million a year, okay? And the way you talk to them has to be different. In fact, if you try to talk to 0 to 1s and try to talk to 2 to 3s, the 2 to 3s are going to get pissed and they're going to just never watch your content ever again, okay? They are looking for strategy, okay? And I'm going to break this down which each of these groups need. The 2 to 3s, they need strategy. They want that one chess piece move that you have studied your whole life that could help move their business up 20%. Go from 1 million to 1.2 million. It's a huge amount. If you can just get that one little adjustment, right? The 1 to 2s, they need tactics. They need skills. They need you to teach them the unique tips and tricks, okay? And then the 0 to 1s, they need mindset. They need told that they can be great, that business is awesome, you can get a hot chick in a cool car and all these different things. They just need to get started. So you're seeing kind of these three groups. The 0 to 1s, they haven't started yet and they need mindset. The 1 to 2s, they've started, but they need skills to get to the next level. But the 2 to 3s, they need chess moves. They need to figure out how you can help them on the board. Now here's the problem. If you do not know who you are talking to, you need to be very intentional. Because if you try to talk to too many, you're going to piss them off. One's going to get pissed off over the other. If you try to talk to the 0 to 1s, but also the 2 to 3s, the 2 to 3s are going to get annoyed that you're telling them 3 tricks to get a girlfriend, right? They want to know how to scale ROAS with the hammerhead strategy, with the double closer VSL 360 no scope funnel. And then the 0 to 1s are going to be like, what? I'm not listening to that. I don't even know what I just heard. You know what I mean? And then the 1 to 2s, like, they are so hungry for skills. Like, they are going to follow and absorb the person who gives them the most sauce, basically, right? The most tactics, the most tricks, you know, the copywriting frameworks, all of these different things. Now, this is the mistake I see creators make, especially really successful creators. They compare themselves to someone going after a different crowd. So I just want to zoom out real quick. Dan Martell makes content mostly for 0 to 1s. Mostly. Okay? He has a very unique model where he also attracts some 1 to 2s and 2 to 3s because of his status, but we're just going to look at him as an example. If you look at Dan Martell, someone who is giving very, very broad business advice and lifestyle advice, relationship advice, that 0 to 1, and you try to apply that to your day trading offer that you are trying to give, you know, market breakdowns, market recaps, all these different things, it's not going to work. You know, it might work, and there's exceptions to all of these things. The cream of the crop, don't compare yourself to the cream of the crop in a lot of these niches, okay? Like, they've bended reality a little bit, but for the fat chunk in the middle, you guys have to be a little bit more thoughtful about how you target and who you target, okay? The last thing I'll say is this, I almost forgot this, is your metrics need to change and your pricing needs to change. If you are going after 0 to 1, you need high views because it's a volume game. You're not going to be able to charge a lot. You're only going to be able to charge, you know, maybe $350 for your little course, and you need a ton of views. In the middle, you want engagement, you want people commenting, sharing, etc. Maybe not as many views. You're kind of going to be playing that game between in and out of top of funnel, middle of funnel.